So you can't keep using that excuse. Like, that is a part of the academic's brain. So, like, to me, you just don't sound like a very competent businessman.
Let me see who Marlon Brando is, because I know that name. I know that's a white man. Yeah. Okay, I just need to know which white man it is. Let me look it up, and you can.
That's the white man. Richard Pryor just suck Marlon Brando's.
I don't like that rhetoric. Don't say that. Take that out. Cut that out. SZA is a liar. Like, as a person who's been a SZA fan for about a decade now, she's morphed into a completely different person, and she's been caught in dozens of lies. We don't care.
G3 is one of those brothers where you got to prove the racism to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever say like, oh, this person was well, prove it. Like, that's RG3 is that kind of.
I hate is like that.
Okay, so
because I'm the opposite. You got to prove to me that racism isn't happening because I'm going to be like, racist.
I was totally disappointed. I've said on this show before that Nick Fuentes is probably one of my top white supremacists that I enjoyed listening to, or just watching little snippets and clips because of the manner of which he expresses it. This right there, he didn't do. Like, you didn't show your at all, Nick Fuentes. You tucked your little pencil peckerwood in, and I was disgusted. Talk trash, but then like they'll be apologetic once they see you in person. Mm-hmm. Like, they're one of these kind of guys where they just want to be, especially him. Yeah, well, you can say that.
They big.
And also, hate to break this to you too, for all you clowns hating on a Superman movie, that's always been what Superman's done. He's fought against a ton of people politically. Like, the old Superman used to beat up landlords.
I wish he still did that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Charlemagne said something that I don't really agree with. And he said there's no value in shock, being a shock jock.
Literally shock value. Superman versus Jesus on Earth.
Superman 10 times out of 10.
You know, I might have to agree.
He's watching that little.
I think this podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast
Rocky.
now?
She has come back from Mecca. She has come back from.
I have proof. Look.
She has come back from Black Woman Mecca. She went to go see the Queen, Beyonce, in Atlanta.
I went to Cowboy Carter night 4, which was like a really good night to go to because night 3 and 4, Jay came out.
Is she still there? Is she still here?
No, night 4 was the last night.
Okay.
So I went on the last night.
Okay. So do you want to tell us about, how it went?
So the show was amazing. I looked great. I made my outfit from scratch. We'll put a picture here because I'm proud of myself. And it was a blast. Like, she performed for 3 whole hours. Mm-hmm. She performed from things from her entire career. Jay came out, did PSA. Excuse me. He came out. He was like, I heard the doom, doom, doom. I was like, ah! Immediately.
You didn't know how to reintroduce yourself, did you?
No, I couldn't. I lost my mind. I didn't know who I was to introduce myself. And then, so the show ended.
This is when it gets interesting.
The show ended, and I'm walking with my friends, and then I just take off. Just got the zoomies. I just took off.
The zoomies. What inspired the zoom? What mindset were you in?
Sometimes when I'm drunk, I just want to run.
So you just took off?
I just took off.
Oh my goodness. You can tell where this ended. So let's continue.
Okay, so I take off, not remembering that they have my phone, ID, everything. I have nothing. I just took off bare hands, just outfitted cowboy hat, just running through Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like, I don't know why my hands are up while I'm doing the running.
That's how you probably was running.
I probably was. I was running.
Drunk as hell, running around Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
So
gone out your mind.
Oh my God, I'm tearing up. Oh, my makeup. So when I finally like come to, I'm like, holy shit, they're nowhere near me. I'm like looking around for them. I can't find them. So then I eventually, I find this like drag queen looking man.
So this is after you already left the venue.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm like outside the venue when I find them. I didn't like fully leave the vicinity. I was in the vicinity the entire time. I was like 3 minutes. I didn't walk for that long.
Looking for your friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I find this like drag queen looking man and his friend. And then I'm like, oh my God, I lost my friend. I don't have my phone. So they're like, all right, come with us. You can chill in our hotel room, call your people or whatever, and wait there until they can come get you. So I'm calling my mom. I'm calling my mom and dad because those are the only numbers that I know. At this point, it's like 2 something. Because the show didn't end till like 1 something.
I thought it ended at 11.
8. No, she came out at like 9.
Okay.
So it ended around like
midnight.
Yeah. So it's around like 2. And I cannot get in touch with anybody. So my mom finally picks up and she's like, okay, I'm on the way. When I finally get in touch with her, they're like, we have a flight or whatever, so you can go wait in the lobby. So then I go downstairs to wait in the lobby. I start freaking out again because the same number that I called my mom on, she can't call me back.
You can't get in touch with her. Okay.
So I'm calling her on the hotel phone, not picking up. The valet guy, I'm standing outside, like waiting for her, like maybe half an hour goes by and she's still not there. I'm calling her over and over and over again and she's not picking up. I'm calling my dad too because my dad has your number. He could call you. I don't know why my mom didn't call you. There's
I was asleep the whole time.
If she called you, like you would have gotten there faster than what she would have done probably.
No, the traffic, the way that she described it was just too crazy. Anybody would have been waiting for a minute.
Oh yeah, I forgot the traffic around Mercedes-Benz Stadium was probably absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you wasn't in. Okay, let's just get into it. My baby wasn't in her right mind.
No, not at all. I was literally like sobbing the entire time,
looking like a crazy woman after this. So mind you, she gets back to the house. She's rattled.
So no, this is not even the end of. So after I get down to the lobby, I'm like crying in the lobby too because my mom's taking forever, and then. This black woman comes down and I'm like, can you please order me a Uber and I'll pay you back tomorrow morning when I get my phone back and everything. I write down her number on her name and her number.
She forgot that too.
On a little piece of paper. And then she sends me on my way in an Uber. And then I sent her the money back the next morning after I got my shit back.
So she comes home frantic. She tells me she lost her phone. So in my mind, I'm thinking she either put it down somewhere, somebody took it, or she got like pickpocketed or some crazy stuff. So I'm starting to look where the phone is because I have her location. I find it. I'm like, hey, I found your phone. Let's call the authorities since you think, someone took it. Well, I don't know. I think one of my friends may have. Huh? What do you mean? What's the story? Like the story there's no consistency.
I was like, when I sat down and I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, no, because most likely one of them has it.
And then she doesn't explain that to me though. So I'm sitting there like, why does she want to just get this going, get the ball rolling on this so we can get her items? I was just so confused the entire moment. Then the next day comes around, right? And I'm sitting, we're going to go find the phone. We're not sure if this is her friend's house. So this could be a monster.
I'm like, I am like 90% sure this is my friend's house. Like when we were on our way, I was like, I'm confident that we're on our way to my friend's house right now.
So I started to just apply just a little bit of logic in what was going on. Because just trying to figure out like why she didn't have any kind of like space for them to meet up. Like why was there no preparation? So then I asked a simple question. I said, how did y'all get there? She says, we drove.
Well, one of my friends drove.
So you drove. So I'm sitting here. So you drove. That means you parked, right? She goes, mind you, she goes, yeah, in the orange section and yada, yada, yada. So I looked her straight in the face and said, then why didn't you walk back to the car? And you, and I
was never at the car. So back to the car would imply that I was at the car in the first place. I got there on a bike. I knew what deck she was on.
So
like the whole deck.
That's deep.
I don't know which level of the deck she was on. I also don't know what the fuck her car looks like.
But being near the car deck is at least a place where y'all have to go.
The thing that I should have done is just stayed, like, there's stairs at the top that you can like look down on the crowd. That's where I should have stayed at the top at like the highest point to just look.
Or call security. So there's somebody, just anybody in the vicinity.
I went to a hotel that was like right next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's not where you at.
Yeah.
Like, it's just everything was just a bad decision.
But that was after I was there for a while.
I just felt like if you
already.
And this is why I just get so worried when you get more intoxicated than probably you should and you go out. Because it's like if you just would have took like 5 seconds just to just breathe in, realize what was going on, you probably could have avoided
it was
85% of what that happened.
All anxiety.
That's all it was. It was alcohol and anxiety. AA. That's what you are.
Yeah. So we're on our way to my friend's house, and then my friend finally calls me back on Instagram, and she's like, she has your stuff. And I was like, okay, well, we're on our way there. Luckily. And then I got my stuff. I was just worried because I had taken my work phone with me, and I was like, child, I don't need to be losing my work phone.
But you're now listening to the greatest podcast in the world, Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Absurd Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and gorgeous co-host, Miss Farrah.
Hi, guys.
Little young nigga drip on.
I feel like a fly young nigga, for real. It's just a scarf and the loose pants. I'm wearing all loose clothes, a hat, and a scarf, so yeah.
No, I'm here to do the business and the science. So.
Yeah, and you look like the teacher that's about to give me detention.
No, it's not. That's not the look I was going for.
That's the look that you got going on.
This is way flyer drip than teacher drip.
You have on a fucking button-down shirt and khakis.
That's how you supposed to do journalism.
Like, what are you talking about?
You went to journalism school. This is how you supposed to. This is the fit to do
nigga
journalism.
Ain't got no drip whatsoever.
This is the drip is for journalism. This is journalism drip.
None.
You don't even understand. You
just have clothes on.
You can't even comprehend it, honestly. That's really where we're at with it.
I hate when you open your mouth about anything related to fashion or clothes.
Well, close your ears.
Because
tell your ears to stop working.
He owns so many polos. I secretly throw out his clothes on a regular basis.
I've seen that you've been doing that. But I'm gonna return a favor in a little bit. Don't worry.
Don't. I spend so much more money on my clothes than you do.
No, it's okay. That just means I don't have to throw as many to equal. That's all. I could just throw a piece away here and there.
No.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't notice. You haven't noticed, so it's not fun when when the rabbit got the gun.
You did that too late.
It's post. All right, your girl Nicki Minaj is clearly a ticking time bomb that we have to continue to investigate because she's insane.
She's on another coke rant.
It's farther than that. This has to be like a binger now because this has at least been going on for like a week that she's been doing this.
So I think it was Punch, like the way this all started, from what I believe.
This particular portion of it.
Yeah. Punch tweeted something, Broken Barbies, right? I think that was it, what he posted. It's a song that's about to come out. I don't know whose song it is, but it's a song, apparently.
That's what everybody's been saying, that it's a song he's been pushing, but
yeah.
I still haven't heard who's the artist.
It probably hasn't dropped yet. And then I think it's the newer like contemporary alternative black girl that they signed recently.
You talked about her on here before?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's her song. I can't remember her name. And then SZA tweets, Mercury in retrograde, don't take the bait, silly.
Okay, well, you missed that because in between that, Nicki responded to that. She started to go
before
the retrograde.
Okay.
Because I have it right here where after he tweets that, she says, she posts a picture of a very unflattering picture of Punch and says, me after I suck some good zick. Guarantee you wouldn't fight a man. Guarantee you wouldn't fight a man. You have every tweet of your incessant bullying, lying, and more. Your name was added to that shit list, shitty draws. Same thing that makes you laugh, makes you ... shit. That's what she said.
What does that even mean?
Then she broke down what TDE means, tiny dick executive. And then she said, y'all remember
that
when
was funny.
Doo-doo on the beats was feeling his doo-doo. Now he's sitting in it. I'm just going on what she's going on.
She like for somebody who technically is a wordsmith, your tweets be not making any sense, and then it doesn't seem eloquent at all. It seems like Papa Bear tweeted, like you got jokes from Papa Bear for real.
Yeah, then I'm just saying like kind of like the retweets and the stuff that she was doing in between, and then the Mercury in retrograde happens, and then she goes to SZA, go draw your freckles back on, Buki, and then she does her weird little hashtags that she's been doing for Perez's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, sounding like a fucking dead dog. I don't know what that means. I think she tried to talk about her singing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that SZA doesn't sound great live.
And then she says, bitch looking and sounding like she got stung by a fucking bee. ... Draw on my fake freckles.
And then talking about the freckles again, like we know SZA is a liar. Like as a person who's been a SZA fan for about a decade now, she's morphed into a completely different person, and she's been caught in dozens of lies. We don't care. The songwriting ability overshadows all of the lies. Like it really doesn't matter. The freckles are fake. We don't care. Like there's so many BBLs, fake tits, fake this, fake that, weaves. Nobody cares about her drawing on her freckles, and to bring it up twice is just like,
no, she was going in
childish.
And then she said another thing. She said, bitch used to be on Twitter dissing Rihanna, Sierra, etc. Then when it's time to suck Zick, suck Zick is insane, and get the opportunities from them, she drew them freckles on and got to sucking, right? Allegedly, like, bitch, stop being jealous of women who you secretly would kill to be up their assholes. These men.
That's very ironic because I feel like that's how a lot of people think Nicki Minaj behaves.
Then she says, these men putting batteries in y'all backs and y'all stupid enough to keep it going and peeping that is not going to end well for them.
That's also ironic because some people would say that's exactly what Wayne did with you.
But then SZA did respond. She said, I get bullied by millions online every day. Then step my ass on a packed stage tour where people show me real love in real life. My parents are healthy. I think that's a crazy shot to say to anybody. And I'm the most successful I've ever been. Get some fucking perspective and bark at a wall. And then she says, I don't give a fuck about none of that weird shit you popping. I think that was actually her first response.
Yeah.
To Nicki was about the weird shit you popping. And then it ends up.
And I think that would have been enough.
But no, they end up going back and forth. Nicki just hasn't let up since.
No, she hasn't. She called her ugly.
I was about to go to that tweet. That was my next one that I had put up. She didn't just call her ugly. She said,
She said, shut up, ugly.
Yeah, shut up, ugly.
That's like, saying shut up, ugly is like, you're a middle school bully.
But then this is when you know the coke is in the brain as well. I'm in a meeting, so I don't know if you're still talking shit or not. So if you didn't, I'll delete later, ho.
Like, why don't you just not tweet that shit? And then, no, it was, I'll delete later, period, ho. Like, she finished, and then she was like, let me add a little seasoning to it, to the end. Like, it was unnecessary, and you could have just not tweeted that.
And then she started posting, like, more unflattering pictures of Punch and SZA. It just goes on. Like, she has not let up since this moment. Yeah,
and then there was that one long tweet, like, because then after that, SZA said, I'm going to go back to being shy and myself and blah, blah, blah. And she basically said, I'm going to go back to ignoring her. And SZA started retweeting, like, she has a couple things about to go diamond, and she's retweeting that. And obviously, like, that's part of the shade throwing. The timing of, like, when you're retweeting your successes. And Nicki sends out this long ass tweet starting with like, wait, does SZA think that she's more successful than me? Just mean bully energy. You can go, let me read it. Cause she said, wait, does SZA think she's more successful than me? LOL, y'all catch me up, please. SZA, if every song you've ever done vanished right now, the music business would never even miss you. Yes, we would. Like, I'm not in the music business, but fans would miss her for sure. I've been to countries that never heard of you. I know you're not that stupid, are you? Stadiums? Did you look at the venues I played on my own headline festival tour out of the country last year? Bitch, have you ever headlined to 60K people? Bitch, what have you ever done besides yodel with auto-tune that needed retuning? Boo, I'm an icon. You're not. The end. Pay that man for almost breaking his back. We still trying to figure out who this man is and how SZA broke his said back. Like, is it literal or figuratively? I don't know. But the inquiring minds would like to know, please, Nicki. Like, one more tweet. Tell us about this man. And then she continues, why didn't you speak up when your exec was bullying and harassing me? You dirty, mangy C word. You don't need to. These bottled numbers on y'all platforms have y'all losing y'all mother effing minds. You the type that would have been quiet in school trying to fit in. If you listen to SZA's music, she was that type for sure. Like, she was very insecure. It's deep. Like, she bears her soul to us. You still have no clue who you are. I know you went nights without washing your musty face. I agree with that. She says it's very barefoot forest energy. She's definitely gone to sleep. Who hasn't gone to sleep without washing their face though at one point or another? But you ain't never had a lit night out.
But SZA gives it off like that was a habit,
like
more than it was a.
Like she was having a relaxing night and still didn't wash her face.
That just seemed like normal behavior. Like that was just the thing that she was doing, especially early SZA.
And then she continues, bitch, how you remember exactly where every freckle goes? So this is the third fake freckle mention. And then she continues, justice for Demore Desire Perez. We want to discuss your daughter's lawsuit. And did you do your deposition? Oh, okay. Deposition. Like, how do you end it with that?
But then it doesn't stop there because everyone begins to talk about this.
No, I mean like that tweet. How do you end that tweet with that?
I'm just saying like this still hasn't even stopped because Academics gets involved somehow because his Academics TV page, which we all know he has told everybody he does not run the posts are not from him. But that gets a reaction because what they did was they posted a picture and they deleted it already. But they posted a picture of SZA dressed like a Muslim, wearing traditional Muslim garb, traditional Christian garb, and I think traditional like Buddha or Hindu garb. And said one day she Muslim, next day she Christian.
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious, but that ended up getting pulled. Punch uses it as an opportunity to then go at Academics and trying to basically G-check him regarding who's doing the posting or whatnot. Academics tries to like act like he's talking about some Drake beef type stuff. Like that's the one thing I hate about Academics and a lot of the gentlemen that kind of follow suit him, where you know what someone's talking about, but then you'll purposely try to lead the conversation, especially on the internet, because you know it's a respond-based thing. He tries to pull the conversation to act like he was talking about Drake. And he was like, bro, I'm not talking about any. I'm talking about who is the person pressing send on these posts for this page, because this page be wilding. He ends up then conceding to that point and saying like, you know, he has had conversations with his people and telling them to relax on certain things, not to talk about people who are not celebrities that are associated to them. But overall, I just feel as though we kind of just see where Academics has put himself in a position where he has to kind of take responsibility for that page because it has his name on it and those people work for him.
100%. Yeah.
And I think he keeps trying to use that as a scapegoat, but it's not going to keep working over and over. Like, these are your men. You get, like, you may not approve what actually goes out, but if you make the call to get it deleted, it's going to come down.
If you're the one who hired, if your name is on the paperwork, you own the thing, and you hired the people who send all of the stuff out and press post, then you're responsible. You're completely 100% responsible for it.
Like, you have to understand, when you use your name to leverage other people clout-wise on the internet, you're going to be responsible for that, regardless if it's you. So you can't keep using that excuse. Like, that is a part of the Academics brand. So, like, to me, you just don't sound like a very competent businessman when you keep trying to run to that.
Clout is a dangerous game.
And you seen him, he was all out this weekend. He was talking trash about a whole bunch of people because he was out on boats and stuff.
He was on vacation just looking. Why did Academic get those braids?
I don't think his hair thick enough for that.
It's not.
Like, it's not a good look when your hair kind of strings out at the end.
It's string from root to end. It's not just at the end.
It's not even the part like look a little bit light.
It looks like it's holding on for dear life.
Like, to me, he seemed like he would be cool just being a short mid-fro nigga. Like, I don't understand what's the obsession with anything other than that.
Just be a bald fat nigga with a beard.
But he don't gotta be bald. He can just be a little bit of hair. He just need a little afro. Go get a haircut every 2 weeks like a normal nigga. I think that's probably the reason why he don't like getting his haircut, because getting your haircut puts you in a situation where you get into a routine and you gotta trust like a nigga. And I just think he's just so paranoid. Just like if you hear the way he discusses and talks about it, he's so paranoid about the optics of his surroundings that I don't think he would even. I think that's part of the reason why he looks like that, because out of fear.
Yeah, and genetics. So let's get back to Nicki. Why do you think she's been crashing out so often?
I mean, we talked about it
Lately,
last
specifically.
time. I just think she just feels like she's falling off. Even if it isn't her numbers are showing that, I think she feels like that's what's happening. Like her world is crashing in out on her, and she's just projecting that to the world.
Do you think that if Drake didn't lose terribly like he did in this last beef, that she would feel like that? Because Drake losing the beef and then Wayne crashing out about not getting the Super Bowl, it's like the holy Young Money Trinity has like completely fallen before our eyes.
No, I don't think so, because I think this was.
And then Wayne
inevitable.
put out that garbage album to everybody else. I didn't listen to it, but like unfinished garbage beats, just throw away songs of an album, and everyone's kind of like, we lost Young Money. Thank God we enjoyed Young Money in its prime, because.
No, I mean the fall off is evident, at least with the standpoint with her, and I don't want to mean it in a way where I'm trying to like say she's a bad artist anyway. I think she can come out and make good music still to this day.
She can still drop a bop.
It's just the relevancy and the currency that she has built amongst the industry is just falling through now. There's no more weight to it, and I don't think people want to continue to work with that. Like, it's already hard to work with like an egotistical man, but working with an egotistical woman can even be like a bigger draw onto you, because like the things that women can say, especially New York women, when they're frustrated, upset, where they feel like they paying you, doing what it, like the stuff that y'all will say to somebody can wear on you longer than would be maybe a male that can do that, and who can also earn a little bit more potentially in that regard too. So they can make
immediate gut check.
So, and I think that's just what her is. She's just feeling that, where she hasn't played ball with enough people because she thought she was the superstar that Wayne treated her like and all that other stuff, which is cool when you don't have competition.
That's why I think that her tweets were ironic, because I feel like she's projecting her own, like what she thought she was onto what SZA thinks that she is.
Yeah, to me, she feels a certain way, because she's been doing this for years about showing her accolade. She feels a certain way about herself that she doesn't feel she receives back from others. I think it's very evident, and because that's why it feels like, are you trying to convince us of how good you are, or are you trying to convince yourself?
That's crazy, because regardless of what Nicki does, she has a core fan base that is so fiercely loyal. She could literally like diarrhea on a track, and like they would be tweeting and hashtagging to make it go #1 as hard as they could. Like, so I don't know. I feel like sometimes, do you feel like sometimes when people are black famous, they don't appreciate it enough?
I think when it's not that they don't appreciate it.
And I'm not saying Nicki's just black famous, but I think she's an icon 100% irrefutably to black people.
No, for sure. I think she's 100% everything you just said. But what I think is a hard realization, and we talked about this a little bit with Taraji P. Henson, is understanding that black famous and then famous in general, that just means different. Like, so you could be top 5 black famous and be 80
regular famous. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not always going to feel that when you walk into certain rooms and certain places. Like I said, she's big star. Everybody's talked to her. She's been on sitcom shows where people made jokes about or reference her. So it's not like she's a nobody.
She's an icon.
But at the same token, she's an icon to us, I would say. I don't know white people will call her an icon.
I don't know either.
I think they would say that she was a top act, or she was a female icon. for sure.
I think if she kept on her pop run for a little bit longer, I know she absolutely hated that part of her career. But I think if she kept on that path for a little bit longer, or like sprinkled it into like every little album, kind of like Rihanna does.
I feel like she did do that. I just feel like they never, like, she had one or two of them that really hit, but most people just wanted to hear her rap.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because that one
I couldn't
song with her
speak
and
to
Drake
it.
was kind of poppy when they was like
one?
the Moment for Life.
That was very early. That was on Pink Friday. That was her first album.
That's what I'm saying. That started off the thing.
Yeah, I'm saying she did do that, and then she stopped doing it in the later albums. Pink Friday had a longevity. She had hit after hit after hit after hit on Pink Friday.
I know she was singing on Pink Friday 1 and 2 a lot. She had songs on there where she was singing a lot.
Yeah, she used to sing a lot.
Even her old manager, Waka Flocka's mom, said that was
Debbie,
something
yeah.
that she wanted to do a lot with singing.
I'll give you the first 2 albums. She did more like poppy stuff, but then I think after the like Will I Am era, like that song that she did,
I think she is just a hip hop star. I don't think there's any limitations to her, and I think Nicki's dope. I just think she just needs to relax, like put the drugs down.
She can't
and relax.
She can't.
I think that's the problem too.
I feel like she made a mistake with this man because anybody could just refer to your husband's a rapist. Like, that's a L. Like, that's a card that anybody could pull out on you. And everyone has that on you. And you can't even defend yourself. And then, so is your brother. Wow. Like.
And then your sister not helping you much. With her reality.
She on not even Zeus. She's on Now That's TV or something like that. Like, bottom of the barrel. She might as well be like doing street fights for money, just fist fighting in the streets. That's what her sister's doing.
That's what it looked like. That's what she's been doing for a while.
I feel like her personal life, from our perspective, not knowing this woman at all, this looks kind of a mess. Like she's in a corner, and now she gotta just swing and crash out about shit.
Yeah, I think this is it's horrible just to see, like we talked about her legacy last time, just to see where it's turned to and what it probably end up going to be, what people remember her for. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe if she takes some time away, we can forget, and then we'll just remember the good stuff, and then she can kind of.
She gonna have to take a lot of time away, and then she gonna have to come out and do like a Young Money tour, or like like something nostalgic that makes us remember the old Nicki and not the crash out Queen Radio Nicki. Even though there were some very iconic, like when she crashes out, it's iconic.
I mean, it has
to
been
freedom. Like,
I mean, it has been historically, but when that becomes your thing that you over and over and you keep doing it, it just gets played out and tired, especially when there isn't really a message behind it. It's not like you're galvanizing people to stop something that's affecting a large swarm of the artist community. It's like, no, you're just mad because somebody is picking somebody else over you at the end of the day. And then you just try to paint it as all this particular way. So I hate to see it, but we will just finish it up with that. But man, it's awful. It really is. Like, Nicki, you are... I remember being a kid when she first came out who was just obsessed with just the imagery that she put out. The music was dope, but like she was super fine. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, she was fine, and just to see you acting like this crazy old woman in from 20 years now seems like...
I had Pink Friday, like the album, the physical album, and I played the absolute crap out of that album.
Now, I remember her when she was with Gucci. Like, that's the time when I got onto her, when she was doing like early Waka, her early Gucci, when he made that joke about them fucking her, and Gucci said, "Well, we fucked her."
I don't remember that, but Itty Bitty Piggy will always be my shit.
That
Always.
That Gucci crash out was legendary. I can't believe you forgot that. All right, let's see. Let's get into. So, did you see what was going on the Breakfast Club?
No, because that little white boy, I don't know who he is. Neon? Mm-hmm. You can tell us about that.
He's not a white boy, though. He's a Indian Pakistani mix. But so he's a streamer. We've talked about him before on the show. He's part of like that, like, not the Kai Cenat, cool guy streamer community. He's really kind of like the opposite. They're like, I wouldn't say rejects per se, but they're like the counterculture to what you see modern with the streamers. These guys talk trash, but then like they'll be apologetic once they see you in person. Like they're one of these kind of guys where they just want to be. Especially
They're
him.
Pussies.
Yeah, well, you can say that.
They big pussies.
Neon's one of those guys who he did a lot of rage bait content where he would just say things. He would react in a way that he felt like I'm showing my masculinity in this moment. He was a kid too. He was like 15, 16 doing all this, but he said a lot of crazy stuff. And in his defense, he was doing that to kind of rally up his base. And also, you can't like look like a sucker. Like part of that streaming community is why you have guys always talking tough and looking crazy online. It's because you can't look like you're a beta. You can't look like, even though he's,
because that's the worst thing you could do to these types of guys is look like a beta, because then you lose all their respect, you lose your fan base, you lose all your money.
And then it just makes you an easier mark. So this is where he came on to the Breakfast Club. They basically did, it's similar to what DDG did, where he streamed the interview and then they played the interview. And I ended up checking out the interview. It definitely wasn't really a fair. I'll let y'all listen to it before we get into it.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it.
No. I love Jewish people. Shalom.
You just came on here to just shit on everybody.
Nah. I
mean, wow.
I got so many Jewish friends. What?
Oh my
Nah, you trying to get me caught up, brother?
Hey,
Brother is crazy. Why you put the A at the end?
brother is hilarious.
That was crazy.
What's the craziest situation?
You can't say that.
I seen you in Harlem with Jim Jones. What's the craziest situation? Dubai, what was the craziest situation you've been in that you didn't think you was going to make it out besides Dubai?
I've been in a lot of situations. There's a Nate Diaz thing, same thing, trolling. And
I saw that. He chased you.
he chased me. I'm not gonna like lie and say like I had like a tough upbringing or anything. My parents.
Oh, yeah, we know that. We know.
Oh.
We can tell.
Okay.
Are your parents racist?
Huh?
Are your parents racist?
No.
I'm just trying to figure out like where, like using Harriet Tubman as a slur and the things you said on that video. I'm just wondering like what was your perception?
So
of black
real quick.
people
So you guys do understand like, so first off, trolling's not okay, right? But there like a lot of people have like back then like even if it's as a joke, it's not good to do. But streamer world, YouTube world, whatever it is, like people make jokes like that. But like back then, before like
Only about one race of people.
No, you got to see my no, ma'am, you got to see my clips. My clips.
Some examples.
So no, I'm not gonna repeat it. But I'm not gonna repeat it. But there's no singling out. There's none of that. I was just insanely toxic. I make jokes about Indians, everyone, like any race you can imagine. It's not like singling out one.
So
let me ask you a question really quickly. Did you watch the whole interview?
I watched most of it.
Was he coming from because from this clip it seems like he's changed whatever content he's doing and he's not doing the rage bait trolling shit anymore, and he's coming from like I grew from this and I don't want to do this and I know that this is wrong. Is that the sentiment he had?
So mostly now, if you kind of watch a little bit of his streams, he's been streaming with Aiden Ross more often than not. So what he'll do, he's kind of played himself into that role a little bit where he isn't doing that as much because of kind of the blowback. So like one of the things where what he would used to do and how he used to operate, there was a guy who, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's another guy who does content where he talks about gambling. He talks about how he beats all the casinos and they kick him out. And all, he has all these tattoos and stuff. And he talked about how he did a stream with Neon. He did some content with Neon. And Neon came to the house like 2 to 3 hours before the shoot time so that everybody who came in, who was working and who was doing stuff, he could introduce himself to, say, hey, this is my name, his real name and all this other stuff. He says, in a few hours, I'm going to be somebody different. And I don't want you to feel like that. And if this isn't cool with you, like, just tell me.
That's so interesting to me because these streamers are actors, essentially.
Yeah.
Like I've been like watching a little bit more of it and getting more into the clips and the different houses and stuff. And they like put on a show and they're like really good actors.
They turn up, but he like literally that's what the dude said. Where he would go in and he waited till everybody who came in to work. If he was working on behind the scenes or in front, he would introduce himself and say that exact same thing. I'm going to be a different way in a few hours. If that's not something that you like, you can just go away from me, or we can do something, or you can let me know, or somebody around me know. But when I'm on this camera, I'm gonna have to be on. I'm gonna have to be turned up because that's what my fan base wants from me. And once I heard that, I just kind of got to understand, like you said, these guys are they're living a facade, and he's just going through that arc of I was crashing out. Because one of the things he did beforehand, there was a dance in New York called the Naughty Dance. I don't know if you're familiar with that. and it was basically you're looking like you're stabbing yourself because they were talking about you're stabbing a dude whose name was like Naughty or something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was a gang thing.
Auntie too old, hun.
So he did that on stream, and people were telling him what he was doing, and he still kept doing it. During this interview, I think some of the stuff that I didn't like was the fact that Charlamagne said something that I don't really agree with. And he said there's no value in shock, being a shock jock.
Literally, shock value is a term for a reason because there is value in shock. Like you gotta make it provocative. You gotta get the people going.
To me, it just sounds so insane because for some reason he tries to act
Charlamagne
like
used to sniff seats.
Yeah, they talked about that during the interview.
When people left, like Charlamagne's whole like they had they used to have compilations on Breakfast Clubs of like his most shocking moments, and those are the moments that went the most viral. Charlamagne saying that shock doesn't have any value after Birdman walking out is one of your best clips after Ray J crashing out got you on the map is crazy.
No, it's insane
how quick we forget.
It's a revisionist history if you ask me. Like that's exactly what he's trying to do to try to not show that no, that's where you come from. The thing about what you do is you get famous from the shock. And then you apologize on your back end. That's all you got to do.
That's exactly what this boy is doing.
And that's what Charlamagne is doing.
Yeah, Charlamagne did that.
And so for him to try to paint this picture, that's what kind of bothered me about it. And I wanted to see if you had seen any clips about it because a lot of people were saying, oh, they went across the line. I think Aiden Ross he sent a comment to Neon Stream during the interview. And he was saying like, yo, they're trying to press you. They're trying to make you look crazy. He did this one thing I hate that people on his side are trying to make them say free Palestine. Like that's supposed to be some type of code word of showing that you're free or something like that. I hate stupid stuff like that. But there was this point where I'm looking at it. I'm like, Charlamagne is so full of it because the only reason you're going at Neon the way that you're going on is because he's not into your crew. If this was somebody who was in your network or in your crew.
If Schultz was sitting there.
If Schultz, anybody, like I said, he cool with Kai. He kept speaking highly of Kai. If there were any of those gentlemen there, you wouldn't be bringing that kind of vigor. And even though that's the reason why I enjoyed the Breakfast Club was because you got interviews like that where you press people, you put them on and hit the fire to them. For them to bring it out now when we haven't really seen it like that in a while, to me is really lame. Like even Just Hilarious was acting really insane up there. Like she's got some audacity.
I feel like they felt like they could bully him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You could tell.
But you don't think they kind of pressed DDG a little bit when he was up there?
Not as much as they was doing with Neon.
Okay.
I think
couldn't speak to it because I didn't see this.
Yeah, the one that I saw with DDG was pretty fair game. And I thought they gave him ample opportunity to speak. They was cutting Neon off. They was trying to, bring up old stuff and convolute a bunch of different things that happened. So Like even one of the questions, hold on, I'll let you go. But one of the questions I didn't like that Just Hilarious asked, where she was like, I can believe that you changed. And that's not, to me, that's not a proper way to get that conversation or to get the desired answer.
Not shorty that was just swinging out homophobic slurs like a couple months ago.
She still do it.
Like, come on.
Like, to me, it would have been better, it would have been like to give him examples of ways that he changed. Like, give us examples of things you've done to show that you've changed. Mm-hmm. That would have been maybe a better question, but I could just tell they were attacking him. They were trying to highlight his chat and some of the racist stuff they were saying in the chat. Like, it just felt very bad faith, more so than their interviews have been of recent.
Do you think they brought him up there just to like flame him?
Well, Charlamagne tried to bring that up too, where he said, well, if we were being assholes, we wouldn't bring you up. And I felt like that's big cap.
Because we would bring you up just to be assholes. If you have a big enough platform, then sure. Yeah.
If it's beneficial to both of us, and he's pulling in, hundreds of thousands of people in his streams. Yeah. It's very worth it. So that's what I mean. Like, Charlamagne does these things where he tries to paint himself like he's like
holier than thou.
Yeah, than he's ever been. It's just like, dude, that's not you. Like, you're great at what you do because you've been doing it for as long as you have, and you cut through and aren't scared to be like, hey, that was always the thing I liked about Charlamagne. You cut through and you were not scared to ask the question everybody in the room wanted to know.
Yes.
And I feel like we've lost that to a degree with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not getting that.
This was a little. Do you think it was just bullying a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was. I was at 100%. But like I said, it just, to me, like we've talked about with the Joy Taylor interview, he had a lot of tact with that question. They carried that interview where we still got what we wanted to hear, but we didn't have to make her an embarrassment. They didn't do that with him.
Do you think that's because Charlemagne feels like he has to be more careful with women now because of his track record?
For sure. I think the biggest fear Charlemagne has is somebody saying, "Oh, let's go talk to that girl in South Carolina," like Joe said.
Do you think that if Neon is a woman, they would have had the same like vitriol and like everything for her that they would?
Yeah, if he said the same things, I think so. If she was, if that girl was out of the loop like Neon was, but had the same kind of statements and the same kind of outrage that Neon had been responsible for, I think 100% they would do that.
Okay,
I can see that. To me, it's the problem is when it's in house and you don't bring that same energy in house to the people that are coming up now. Like we haven't got a dope interview like that in a while. For me, if you ask me. I don't
really watch Breakfast Club anymore.
I think a lot of them have been softballs. I think there's been here and there good questions and good moments, but this was the first time I seen them do a full court press on somebody in a long time. This is like I'm talking about Lauren LaRosa was in on it.
So one more question though. When you say that, it makes me think the people who know there would be a full court press on them, do you think they're going to Breakfast Club? Like a lot of people are now scared to go to Breakfast Club. A lot of people go up there and be like, I was scared to do this interview. People who you think like wouldn't like, why are you scared to do this interview?
Yeah. Neon's that's kind of his thing, whereas like that's part of is disrespecting him. Like that's kind of like where he's kind of taking his content a little bit. Cause he had this one not too long ago where he was with this rapper and they was playing basketball, and even after the dude missed, he'd be like, give me the ball back. And then Neon would just give him the ball back and then Neon basically let him beat him in basketball, even though Neon plays the ball really good. So that's where
I don't get that, because if he can't look like a beta, what?
But this is his new thing now. This is
the new personality.
Because at first he would talk trash. Then when they talked, he would act like, I'm sorry, my bad. Like that was part of his thing that he would do. Like that was also a big part. But he would talk big trash when it was just him sitting in the room, nobody to check him. But anytime somebody checked him, he would fold, and that would be part of his character.
Okay, so he was always a big pussy.
Yeah, that was part of his character in that regard.
Yeah, he's just a bigger pussy now.
The instigating, I think the instigating is what stopped it. So now he don't have to do it anymore because everybody
has
knows
his platform.
No, but everybody knows what he's done in the past, so they can just rehash those old moments. So every time you say or do something, they just rehash those moments with you and all that. So to me, like I said, I feel bad for him, but I think in the same way, this is kind of like part of his angle, and he can kind of use this as a moment. I thought it was really just lame on their behalf because they didn't even dap the man up. They was just giving him the pound. They didn't give the man no handshake or nothing when he was leaving.
Is a pound not fine for?
Bro, you could give this man a dap. You could shake this man's hand after you just did that interview with him. At the very least. We didn't talk about RG3 when he originally did this because I just didn't feel like talking about RG3. He's a dumbass. Like we kind of already gathered that when we talked about him with Ryan Clark and what happened. But it just his stupidity knows no bounds. So he comes out and I guess he calls himself trying to defend Angel Reese and discuss. RG3 is one of those brothers where you got to prove the racism to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever say like, oh, this person was well, prove it. Like, that's RG3 is that kind of.
I hate niggas like that.
Okay, so
because I'm the opposite. You got to prove to me that racism isn't happening because I'm going to be like, racist.
So, I never brought this up to you, but last time we talked about that, but there was a man by the name of Ron Parker, right? And he was on ESPN. He was a decorated journalist. Very well known. He, like I said, he was on with Skip on First Take and whatnot. And he got fired from ESPN. You know what he got fired for ESPN?
Racism?
Nope. This is a black guy.
Oh.
He got fired, or kind of racism. He got fired for calling RG3 a cornball brother. And this is like 2012.
What?
This is like 2012, 2013, around that time.
Bro, if I would have been fired 17 times.
He called him a cornball brother. And since that moment, RG3 has done nothing but assure everyone that Rob Parker was correct.
Yeah.
Like even though Rob Parker has got back on TV, he's been on the radio again, you know, he's regained that clout. Every time RG3 opens his mouth, every time he tweets, he reassures the world that Rob Parker was right.
So fill us in, because
So yeah, I do
give
want
the
to
people some context. He's in trouble for some tweets that he put out against, not against, but pertaining to Angel Reese.
So I'll read a little bit of the first paragraph and a little bit just to kind of,
because it was an entire thesis.
No, he did go off on it a little bit.
He wrote an essay.
So he says, all right, this has got to stop. There's no place for racism.
Can we explain the picture?
I'm about to get into.
Okay.
I was going to get into what
I thought you were going to.
This is part of what he says in the first paragraph. There's no place for racism in this world. Whether you like a player or not, Angel Reese should never be called or depicted as a monkey. I've been quiet on the Angel Reese front. No, you haven't, nigga. What are you talking about? Because she shared a video that aided in my wife, kids, family, and friends receiving death threats. Threats of physical harm to my family and friends, and threats of sexual violence to my children on social media and beyond. So he then goes on to this big spiel where he ends up posting a picture of someone else who posted Angel Reese as a monkey on the cover of NBA, the 2K WNBA edition. Nigga, you didn't have to do that. No, you could have said all of that, what you said, all of that white knight grandstanding bullshit. You could have said that
without reposting the picture.
Without showing the picture. Even if you wanted to, there's a plus sign where you can add another additional tweet to when you post. And if you feel like you have to prove racism is happening, you can go on the next post and be like, for the people who think I'm lying, here's the post. Mm-hmm. But then that at least allows your original post defending her to not also show the image depicting her as a primate. Like, and he's so fucking goofy and he's stupid as hell. And that's why I wasn't even mad at what Shaq had to say about him.
The whole like thesis of a essay that he wrote goes into like, I guess, his history with Angel Reese and their troubles and the back and forth that they've had and stuff like that, which like, why do you have such a like staticky history with this young athlete, this young woman?
Mm-hmm. And we've seen why, because like I said, he's talked about her and Caitlin Clark. He has framed the conversation in a particular way. And I'm not mad at you for talking about Angel Reese, because you don't have a job. You're doing content on your own, independent. So salute to that. We understand that.
Okay.
When you find a subject that's getting you traction, you should stay on it. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at that either. But this is stupidity. Like, you're trying to do something in regards to being virtue signaling, white knighting, all of that, to then it's empty when you post the picture again. You don't do anything about it. And I'm not mad at what Shaq. I'm about to play what Shaq had to say about it, because y'all know Shaq. That's her little. That's big
his
homie.
Little sister. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of man, RG3 tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese. I'm punching your fucking face. Okay.
Period.
It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job. You got your podcast. Leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Fucking stop. That's the last time. Okay. Thank you. It's not real hate. If you look around what's going on in this real country, that's hate. This is sports. I'm not supposed to like you. It's a shame that all the stuff you did in your life, you're going to be remembered for your podcast. You're going to be remembered for your podcast. That should tell you you're not that fucking great. I don't want to be remembered for Shaq's good podcast. I do not. Like,
yeah.
Leave those curves alone. You already spoke on it. Let it go. So what? He hates her. So fucking what? I hate you now for messing with her. Now what? Say something about me. But she's not going to respond, because I'm the one calling her and be like, baby, keep it classy. Because she's not soft by any means. You're from the streets. But I'm like, you're beautiful. Don't indulge with these fools, because he's a fool. You don't even have G14 classification to say that. I would respect it more if Lisa Leslie said it. Like, that's y'all category. Stay out of fools, because he's a fool.
So, no, he goes and just kind of shitting on RG3 some more. And again, I don't have a problem with RG3 having conversations around Angel Reese. I just have a problem with like trying to manipulate the public when you know you've only wanted to see this girl essentially lose.
And then apparently, I don't watch any of the sports, but she's been killing this season.
She's gotten better.
Yeah,
she's had a little resurgence as of late.
Yeah, like she's obviously putting in work. So it just seems like nitpicking, bullying, you're going out of your way to have beef with this young black woman, which is weird. Yeah, it's a corny nigga move.
Also, too, I seen a lot of y'all niggas trying to side with Shaq on this when y'all was calling him weird and nasty for the quotes that y'all took out of context about him and Angel Reese.
They made him look creepy.
Because we talked about that here on the show.
Yeah, and I called him creepy.
But then when you listen to it, it wasn't that creepy.
In full
and
context.
y'all should be. I was sitting here thinking to myself, all these people, oh yeah, Shaq, oh we on your side. Like, bro, y'all was the main ones talking about Angel Reese, bringing her down, telling her she wasn't good, calling her mid, all of this other stuff. But now when Shaq say this about RG3, now we on her side. I ain't like that. Mm-hmm. That was the one thing I didn't like about that. I seen a lot of folks changing their tune on it. Again, RG3, big. That was the dumb move that you did. I'm not against that. I'm not against people outlining and showing, hey, bro, you did something really stupid right there. What I am against, though, is this idea like folks was saying just as vile things. Like Joe Budden called her a bird. And he was like, because they was like, this the new magic bird. It's like, oh no, it's magic in a bird. And I'm like, that's just as bad as the monkey shit.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No, I think monkey.
Do you know what a bird? What do you think a bird is? When someone calls a girl a bird, what do you think that is?
It's like a ghetto hood bitch.
So
I think monkey is like more. It's nastier and more racially fueled than bird.
Bird is sexually charged.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never thought of bird as sexually charged. What do you?
A bird is like something that you just whatever you fucking on just a bird. That's nothing. Like that's exactly what that is.
To me, a bird is just like a basic hood bitch.
Yeah, but
it has nothing to do with anything sexual.
Have value. No, it's a bird is something that
y'all tell us in the comments, because to me, bird has never equated to anything sexual.
I feel like bird is definitely sexually charged.
No.
I would in my history of seeing people use the word is definitely sexually charged.
I wouldn't agree with you. I would agree that bird is.
You don't know my history.
I would agree. I would say that bird is like a ghetto. It's like it's the same family.
I feel like there's a little bit in between those two, but so we got to get into Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens. Did you see any of those clips of those interviews going around?
Of course not.
I was totally disappointed.
Of course I didn't.
No, I was totally disappointed. I've said on this show before that Nick Fuentes is probably one of my top white supremacists that I enjoyed listening to or just watching little snippets and clips because of the manner of which he expresses it. This right there, he didn't do. Like, you didn't show your ass at all, Nick Fuentes. You tucked your little pencil peckerwood dick in, and I was disgusted. Like, this is what I expect. When I hear Nick Fuentes, and I think about him going on Candace Owens' show, knowing that they've had little, snips here and there at each other, I expected this for him to say. I expected him to go and be like, look here, Black Baboon. The only reason I'm on your show is because there's white lost souls that watch you, and I need to bring them home. Like, that's what I thought the kind of energy he was going to bring in. Like, hey, black bitch baboon. Okay, like I'm thinking that's what he's coming with.
So what energy did he bring into the interview that surprised you so much?
The most pathetic Peckerwood, like, whiny ass. Like, he's over here trying to, like, take back certain statements. It was disgusting. It was vile. It was a sickness. I'm going to play a little bit for you just so you can kind of get an idea of Nick Fuentes.
Perspectives on family. I mean, I personally, and this would be me lecturing, but I just feel like you really have no idea who you are until you start a family. And whether that means just marriage, some people who are struggling to have children, okay, fine. But there's such a growth that happens because of that I think it informs your beliefs in so many ways. And I think that was a huge turning point for me. Like, I wonder if I had been pressed with everything that happened last year, if I didn't have like the unshaken faith and my family, what would I have done? And sometimes when I see the things that you say, I do think, okay, he doesn't take into account family. Like, it's just Nick. Nick is in his own world, which can be, I think, a quite selfish perspective, which is fine. That's what you're saying. You like being selfish is another way to say what you just said. I like being selfish and I don't want to give of myself to somebody else. But
I also think there's something selfless involved, which is to say, I could go and start a family and drag them into a world of mine, which is pretty chaotic. You know, I mean, is this really the kind of a lifestyle? If I'm banned on everything and I can't make a living, I'm banned from banking, I'm banned from credit card processing, I'm getting doxxed, people are showing up to my house trying to kill me, things like that. And what's more, I mean, let's also get, you know, I also don't appreciate the lecture. You don't know me, you know, so I know you're married, I know you're older than me, but you don't know me, you don't know my life, you don't know my situation. I don't think you're in a position to give me advice, especially as a woman, honestly. I don't think women... You know, this is something in the right wing. We say we're anti-feminist, and then women go around telling men what to do who are not their husbands. And, you know, I don't really buy into that ideologically, but that's besides the point. You know,
it was more a lot of this because, like, they kind of
It seems like he was trying to push back, though.
It was a little pushback on it, but it wasn't what he does on his show. Like, if you ever listen to him on his show, he goes crazy. He goes ham on his show. Where he starts off, like even then, they had an earlier conversation at the beginning of it where they talked about Dave Smith. So Dave Smith is a comedian who's Jewish, who's been highly outspoken about the conflict in Palestine. He goes and says, well, he's a Jew, you know. At the end of the day, he's still a Jew. He's still one of them. And she said, so what does that even mean? Like, what are you trying to say? If he's speaking these words, he's like, well, and then he goes to, well, it's more so about tokenism. So, because he can't stay on anything. Mm-hmm. He's a like personification of a Monty Bailey fallacy in the sense that he takes these points, these controversial points, but once you put any kind of criticism onto him, once you put any kind of scrutiny onto the things that he says, he then goes into another position that's more defensible, and he can never actually stand in his truth. And just to see that when he doesn't have his, you know, supporters around him vocalizing and, you know, kissing his ass, to see him fall and fall back onto a lot of things I've heard other white supremacists when they get on TV and other people's shows do, where they say, well, I don't actually hate people. Like, yes, you do, Nick. You told me that. I heard you say it. You said you didn't want to live around black people. So it's because you hate them. Like, what are we talking about here? Don't try to, now, you know, there's you, Ye, and Candace. Y'all are the good ones. Don't try to good one the save face in front of a color. You call that person a nigger right to his face if you that bold. That's the Nick Fuentes I thought I knew, that I was familiar with.
I prefer that type of racism.
It's not even a preference. It's just who I've seen you to be. And for you to just be a clown in just this sense. He started doing another thing too.
Why do you think that let's like hypothesize a little bit. Mm-hmm. Why you think he decided to tuck his tail in between his legs a little bit with Candace versus, other than like, he's not smart enough to actually stand against her, which like Candace has proven to us, regardless of what you think about her, that like she will argue you down. Like she will have talking point after talking point, and she's well researched. Well, we'll give her that.
Hold on, I got another clip to play. So
I am racist, I would say. I believe in the races. I believe there are white people and black people and Hispanics and Asians, and I think that it's a core part of our identity. It's who we are. And there's like this conservative reflex to say, we're colorblind. Race doesn't mean anything. And, you know, Pat Buchanan said this. He said, it's not everything, but it isn't nothing. And I definitely lean more towards the latter, which is it really is a core part of who we are. Our culture, our heritage, our ancestors, our customs, all of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I don't think that two people can fall in love from different races. Of course they can. And they have throughout history. And the races have mixed throughout history and assimilated. But for someone like myself, I always say on my show, it's just my value. I want to marry someone that looks like me, that comes from a similar background, because I want my kids to look like me. I want my grandkids to look like me.
But are you, sorry, I just want to make sure, did you say I'm a racialist or I'm a racist?
You know, for a long time, I would say I'm racialist. Mm-hmm. Now I just say I'm racist.
Okay, so when you say you're racist, mm-hmm. because these definitions get changed around, mm-hmm. racist, you know, anti-Semitism gets expanded. What do you mean when you say I'm a racist? Because I think most people watching this would go, if you are a racist in the traditional sense of the term, why are you on this podcast, right? Wouldn't you just go, you know what, Candace is black and she's therefore I don't want to speak to her.
Right.
Certainly not going on to your show and saying, why won't Candace have me on? That doesn't really seem to line up with the traditional sense of the idea of racist. So
yeah, and I'm using it, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek. I mean, for the purpose of understanding, I'd say my views are I'm a racialist. But I do think that we need to deconstruct this idea of racism in the sense that, you know, look, you're black, I'm white, It is what it is. For my entire life, people have been walking around on eggshells about the subject of race, about white people being racist. Can I say this? Can I say that? Can I have this opinion? And me, I'm sort of, Gavin McInnes said it like this. He said, you're kind of post-racist. You're sort of after this craze where everything was racist. It's sort of this recognition that we live in a heavily racial world. And, look, sometimes we have racist feelings. Racist feelings like, I want to live in a white neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live in a black neighborhood. If they were all like you, obviously it'd be a different story. But when we think of a black neighborhood, we know what that means.
That's offensive to me. I know Candace doesn't find that offensive, but like me, the type of nigga I am, I would be like, nah, I'm not one of the good niggas. I'm one of the bad niggas. To you, I'm one of the bad niggas.
Always.
I'm like
nothing about me should feel like a good nigga to you.
Nah, I don't want white people like Nick Fuentes to think I'm one of the good ones at all. I want you to feel uneasy around me, nigga. Okay, so I have two things. I had to write them down so I don't forget them because I'll be forgetting them. His definition of racism in the beginning, just believing that there are different races, that's not the definition of racism. I also looked up the definition of racialist, and it's just a person who's with a prejudiced belief that one race is superior to others. That's racism. Like, tongue-in-cheek is not the right term for this. You're just lying. Also, what has his position? Because he said that I was surprised that he said that different races can fall in love, and he's completely fine with that. He just doesn't want that for himself. What do you know? What his position on? I don't even want to say that, but race mixing, like interracial dating, has been before.
No, he's always said that it's not for him. It's something he would never.
But he hasn't condemned it for other people before, because that surprised me. That
he would say it in a way like, "Why would you want to be a white man and your baby doesn't look like you?" Like that. He would say he talks around it. He doesn't have to be a direct on the point with it, but he talks around it. Like, and another point that
must suck for y'all, because as soon as y'all have a baby with anybody else, it look like them. Y'all genes don't be fighting at all. Fight back.
And I think that's more so what they're upset with, and they'll try to paint this idea like, no, that's 50% of your genes. It's just your genes are weak. So
they're recessive.
They're not dominant.
Recessive genes.
You are a mutant.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, recessive genes.
I hate to break it to you. You are a mutant. But he'll go into this spiel about sub-Saharan Africa, and I hate so much what the racists try to do, because what they'll do with sub-Saharan Africa is it's always never that part. So he tries to say sub-Saharan Africa doesn't have any written language. There isn't any monuments or people and all this other stuff. But then Ethiopia has the oldest written document in human history. But then
was never colonized.
But then he'll say, because somebody talked about this too on his show with him. He talked, I'm not talking about that. So the Ethiopians had X, Y, and Z. It's always, I'm not talking about this. Sub-Saharan Africa is this, and sub-Saharan, and then when you show the cultures, what was going on, the fact that they try to paint sub-Saharan Africa like they weren't part of the Mediterranean trade, that's not true. You Peckerwoods couldn't figure out how to go through the Sahara Desert. They did. They knew how to get through the desert to bring their goods to the where the water was, so they can get payment and transport. This idea that you try to paint black people from Africa, and especially sub-Saharan Africa, as less than is bullshit, because they were good enough to do trade with. They were good enough for them to bring people to you, for you to trade people for goods. And we're to the point where there's been estimated about 12 million people were taken from Africa during the slave trade, not just America, but to the Arabic world as well. Like, it was a two-front coastal system. And this idea that, one, that the coastal cities weren't developed, like there wasn't business and trade. The fact that then you go into, because he'll say, this is another thing too that really pissed me off about his conversation that he was having, because every time that Candace would rebuke him or rebuttal to him, because he even tried to bring up Haiti and said, Haiti isn't a developed country, what's going on with Haiti? And she surprisingly defended it. We're saying there's a lot of history that I'm not familiar with, but that I've heard and I've been trying to research on, that would say that no, Haiti is not responsible for their own outcome.
No, Haiti has been under the thumb and paying France back for God knows how long for no reason after we were the ones that were slaves.
Not even just that, just the money that's been stolen and all sorts of resources. But no,
yes, because a bunch of people got put in power, very corrupt. There's a lot of that's been going on with Haiti for decades.
So you don't think that there's group differences on average between the races?
I think, just to be clear, I think there would be group differences if you took, like we were talking about, an American versus somebody who graduates college in Europe. There'd be tremendous differences. I
Not tremendous, but yeah, there would be slight differences.
Yeah.
But you don't
So
think
I
that
think
racially there's differences between races?
I think, yeah, because we have huge differences culturally. So going to your point of saying, I don't want to live in a black neighborhood, well, neither does LeBron James when he gets money, right? And there's a reason for that, because there is something that's happening culturally in Black America that's been going on for a very long time. But that thing, I would argue, doesn't exist in.
What about in Africa and Haiti? I mean, they're killing and eating each other in Africa and Haiti, everywhere where they are. You have
that's one nigga.
Yeah, I'd like to look into, and I'm pleading ignorant, but I've heard some things about what happened in Haiti and what the Clinton Foundation did there. So I think I'd have to look more into the history of
Haiti of its economic power
at all. I just
completely
don't think I agree with that.
What about
and
all of
trading
Africa,
power?
then? There's not one country in sub-Saharan Africa that's successful. Not one. They're all least developed countries. They're all
not true either.
This kind of reminds me, and we could kind of flesh out this conversation together, and I'm not perhaps ready to have it fully, but I do remember going back to Dave Smith where he was conceding a point on, well, all of these other Middle Eastern countries, no, you wouldn't want to live there. You'd want to live in Israel. In my mind, I'm going, well, because you just keep bombing the crap out of them if they ever try to get ahead. I remember watching this clip of him saying that, going, why don't these countries get ahead? And kind of going back in my mind to the Gaddafi speech where he was speaking essentially about, here's what we got to do in Libya to get ahead. Here's what we're going to do with the dollar, and we're going to be progressive and this and that. And they killed them.
That's such bullshit.
And then what happened to those Libyan refugees? Suddenly they're now pouring into, just like he said was going to happen, that they're now pouring into the European continent, and Europeans are complaining, who are these people?
So I want y'all to listen to his response and how he responds to this.
Just like you would say, I don't know.
That just sounds, I mean, being honest with you, that just sounds to me like a left-wing argument when they say, why don't these countries get ahead? Colonialism, you're a colonizer. It's like, okay, but when we got there, they had no development. When we got to Africa, they had no technological development.
You fucking
liar. So you think that even if we weren't at war, if we had done nothing in terms of the Middle East, that they would just be savages and just be like, America didn't do anything it doesn't set anything backwards, and you're just like bombing a place.
Yeah. Kind of. I think that we did set them back because when they don't have political order,
he says yes, but then we did set them back.
And investment and things like that. But, again, when you look at the antecedents of all these, the history didn't start, like you said, with World War II in the 20th century. There's a reason that European civilization created this enormous gap between them and everybody else. And
there's an American privilege that he, I think, is operating from, where he can't even compute.
No, but he can. I'm gonna tell you how. So they talk about the IQ thing, and it was real interesting because he brings it up as a matter of fact in regards to, hey, these people have have low IQs. That's why they perform this particular way. So she turns it on. Candace does a really good job of turning it on him and says, well, if that's the case, the Jewish people who you're so negative against, they have higher IQs than most white people. They have some of the higher IQs of most white people. So they could just say you're just peddling conspiracy theory because you're inferior. And then he said, well, IQ has a lot of different ways to look at it. So, so now
your point changes.
Now it changes in the midst of the whole conversation. Now IQ is not this definitive thing anymore that you can use to apply it once it shows that you are inferior. And that's what I'm saying, whereas like Nick Fuentes is a clown in that regard. And it's not even his fault because the point that he tries to attach himself to, they're all clowns. Like when you are a conservative, you kind of put the red nose and the hair on. You're being a dumbass clown. And it was just hilarious to me to just kind of see that happen full circle, because it was literally like in the moment where he says this thing and pulls it back. And it's like
he has to pull them back though, because all of the points that he's making are not based in fact.
Yeah, he's a Schrodinger's Christian.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he is.
What is that?
It's when a person who says like these grandiose things.
Schrodinger's.
It's like the Schrodinger's cat. it's a play off of that expression, whereas like the Schrodinger's cat is essentially like this experiment that can't think of the.
I'm gonna go Google.
Yeah, I can't think of what the experiment is. But a Schrodinger's Christian is somebody who makes these grandiose statements, but then once you apply any level of logic or reason to it, then you show that it doesn't fall through. So like that's exactly who Nick is. That's like what you have to be a conservative in this movement at this day and time, because the most convenient argument, having just a little bit of factual information, tears down all of their stances. What? I
just looked up Schrodinger's cat, and now I have more questions than I had before I knew what it was. But that's not what we're talking about.
But Schrodinger's cat is just basically like if you put a cat in a box or something. Okay, you read.
Let me just really quickly to you guys. So Schrodinger's cat is a famous thought experiment in quantum mechanics that illustrates the concept of superposition. It involves a cat in a sealed box with a radioactive atom and a mechanism that could release poison, killing the cat. Until the box is opened and the cat's state is observed, it is considered to be in a superposition of both alive and dead states simultaneously. Mm-hmm. So like,
it's because you don't know it yet. Anything, those possibilities.
Simultaneous, yeah. Okay.
So that's where it was. And then, like I said, the Schrodinger's Christian is just somebody who stands on like a controversial take, and then the most convenient argument just tears it down. So that's essentially what it is. And that's the same thing what I said earlier when I said a Monty Bailey fallacy.
So you just don't know what happens until you know what happens.
Essentially.
Period. Learn something new every day, especially with this one.
And then when I called him a Monte Bailey fallacy, that's just a controversial take that retreats to a defensible position once it's challenged. So like that's what they are. That's what they live in, and that's what their capacity is for. So y'all can say, oh, y'all don't understand Nick and Nick. No, Nick is he's a bitch. He's a peckerwood. He's a pathetic peckerwood, and honestly, he a goofy because he got on his show by himself, and oh my goodness, the chest was poking.
Of course. His dick was swinging as soon as she wasn't in front of him, actually clocking him.
It was so sick. I'm like, this nigga.
I wish Candace would use her powers for good instead of Cooney evil.
She can't help it though. She can't help it. And it's the funny thing because she'll do it. She'll have this like critical thought for everybody else, but then once it starts being black people, then now she just she forgets it.
It's so crazy. I don't know.
All right, so let's just wrap it up. I want to wrap it up this part here, just so I'm letting y'all hear the pathetic peckerwood Nick Fuentes himself discuss him and Candace.
Nothing but unpleasant and annoying and a nuisance. And I don't think she's a good faith person. I don't think she's an honest person. I think she's full of shit. I think she's a bitch. I think she's a hypocrite. Her whole shtick is make him a sandwich. That's her book. Make him a sandwich. And then she's a fucking bitch. You can't have it always like that. Make him a sandwich, but I'm not going to take my husband's last name and I'm going to be wagging my finger and telling everybody what to do. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody needs that.
And then you use like a black AAVE term to end like, Get this motherfucker out of my face.
Can a nigga live, please? This country sucks.
That's enough. Like we got on here like last week and was like we don't gotta platform unnecessary fucking inflammatory bullshit like Mexican OT. We don't have to platform.
He a little Mexican too though.
We don't have to platform this either.
Nick Fuentes is a little Mexican too, so we was just out here just trashing him. I just thought that was hilarious. You're still my favorite white supremacist, Nick. I just want you to know that. No hard feelings. You know what I mean? You can still
feelings.
You can still come on the show. We'll trash you. We'll call.
I'm gonna be a bitch to you way more than Candace was.
We'll call you Tiny Dick. We'll make fun of you. Come on.
I will literally make fun of your penis to your face.
Let's have a good time, Nick. Come on the show, man. We would love to have you. We'll put you up and everything. Did you see what happened with Elmo?
Elmo's Twitter got hacked.
Yo, he went full Nick Fuentes.
Full anti-Semitic rant.
That nigga said to kill all of them.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I did not know Elmo was... I was not familiar with your game, Elmo. I really wasn't. And it's crazy because I know those people starting to feel really attacked after, what's been happening on with the Superman movie.
Okay, so we gotta get into that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the Superman. I went to go see that. I took my little nephew to go see the Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
My baby, she, we didn't. She wasn't up for the night that we were supposed to go to.
Bro, it was a long week.
Yeah, take your hair out.
Yeah, I had to take those braids out. They was stressing me out.
And so but I went to go see Superman, and I just wanted to just brief. I enjoyed myself with it. I'm a big Superman fan. It's kind of funny. Like, I always feel like a nerd when I reveal this, but like Superman is my favorite superhero. Like, he's always been my favorite superhero. Even like when I felt like me personally have failed to live up to those expectations, I've always felt like someone trapped in the Joker, but who desired to one day be a Superman. Like, that's how I've always looked at myself in the mirror. Like, I've always looked up to just what the principles of Superman were. And I do want to say, like, this movie encapsulated what I feel like makes for a Superman movie. And a Superman movie, to me, in its truest sense, is an individual who has the power to do something, but chooses not to for sheer like humbleness and the type of person he was. I think this Superman like totally shows that in that regard, where it's like, yeah, he could be this mean bully, take people out, you cross him, he destroy, and he doesn't do that. Like he understands the situation so well in real time. And like I said, I was a big fan of this movie. I was glad I got to see it with my nephew. I think he really enjoyed it too. And like I said, I'm not mad at David Cornsweet, man. You did your thing, big dog. Appreciate that. James Gunn. We talked about the movie beforehand, thinking that monkey scene was going to be like a big part or a big like point of the movie, plot point in the movie. It wasn't. It was literally like a gag. Like 2 seconds. Yeah, you just saw the monkeys typing and it was over with. Like a lot of that stuff that people were trying to do to hate the film, overblown. Way overblown.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. From what I saw, the most is the like themes in the movie and how political they were. So do you think that, like, from somebody who actually watched the movie, do you think that it was like political and like woke?
Like, everybody kept trying to say that. Honestly, I did not feel like this Superman movie was woke at all. Like, to me, the elements that a lot of people try to pull out from it is like, oh, this was a pro, Palestinian movie or pro whatever.
It was what I saw was it was anti-Israel.
Anti-Israel movie. And to me, besides the one scene that was familiar with the 2018 border resistance that occurred actually in real life, besides that one scene, it was very, very vague. And to me, the real question wasn't a Palestine, Israel, Russia, Ukraine thing. It was just that war was bad. And for y'all to call that woke is insane. Like, war being bad has been the mainstream since we made a song saying, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. But, we have been saying that war is bad.
Hold on 1 second, just real quick. They were saying war
in that song?
I thought it was I didn't know what they were saying was good for. But also, I think I've only heard that song in maybe Rush Hour. Yeah. So like I didn't know the
anti-war
full
song.
Wow, I thought you were gonna say "We Are the World." No. We are the children.
No, like but being anti-war that's literally been Superman. That's always been his stick. So for people to say that, the idea that it's a reflection of real life, again, besides that last scene in the third act, to say it's a reflection only shows how far off the rocker reality is gone. So another point that people may say like is very the same is in the movie, Lex Luthor is promised a part of the land that they're about to conquer, and he changes the name to like Lex Luthor or something like that. He changes the name and names the country after him. And people will say,
which is something Lex would do for sure.
But that was something Trump did, where he did that AI of the Gaza Strip, where he was showing all those Trump signs and saying we're going to make it into a resort. We're going to turn Gaza into a resort. That's because the nigga is a super villain crazy in real life. Not because this movie was written 3 years ago. They were not saying, oh, we're making fun of Trump and Elon Musk. These men have embodied the ideas of criminals.
Yes. Of not criminals, villains.
Yes, super villains.
Yeah, they're not criminals are mind pop at this point. They're villains. And I feel like people have people think that this is anti-Israel because this is the conflict that is top of mind.
Mm-hmm. And if anything, the conflict has more similarities to the Russia-Ukraine. And so that's why I said, like, I think this is where guys, back in the day when I used to go watch movies, people would look at the world and then write a story that was somewhat similar to different elements around the world.
Yes.
So they weren't talking about one thing. They were just talking about things that they were seeing.
And the climate has been, World War III is upon us for a while now.
Yeah.
So that's probably what they're pulling from. Very eerie inspiration.
Yeah, they're pulling from, just like I said, what's going on in the world. And also, hate to break this to you too, for all you clowns hating on a Superman movie, that's always been what Superman's done. He's fought against a ton of people politically. Like, the old Superman used to beat up landlords.
I wish he still did that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga used to go beat up the slumlords. But y'all wouldn't know that because y'all don't read Superman.
Okay, so another thing I kind of saw, was he kind of like a pussy in the
No, I hated that people were saying that. Like, this idea that Superman goes all out 100% at every fight is a myth that was created with the Zack Snyder ideals.
Well, we know that. Because my husband's a nerd, he makes me watch stuff all the time and like Superman cartoons and stuff like that. We just watched a movie the other day, an old ass movie where this man held back his power until the last possible moment. I was like, you could have ended this ages ago.
But
he does that all the time.
Like, there was a Justice League animated series that used to come on, and there was a scene where Superman fought Darkseid for essentially the last time on the show. And he says, when it comes to you, I go all out. I'm holding back with mostly 80%, 90% of the people that I fight. With you, I don't. Like, Superman, Darkseid is what makes Superman into a Karen. Like, that's the only person, that's the only entity that can turn Superman out of his body. So I don't expect that from any other person except Darkseid. Mm-hmm. So this idea that people were just kind of painting around Superman, I feel like it stems from being poisoned with a little bit of the Snyder run, even though I love the Snyder cut. Like, I love all of the Snyder Batman, Superman movies. Those are dope movies to me.
We are a Snyder household.
I love the Snyder cut, but I understand what Snyder was doing was a deconstruction. He was asking the question of, how does someone of this great power become this person of hope? And a lot of people don't like that because the expectation is Clark Kent, Superman, is hope embodied.
Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating when you don't get the fully powerful, thought out being, and you get like the person that's building up to be who you know that they're gonna be.
And then Superman, they say it in the beginning of the movie, this is his first fight that he's lost. He lost it to himself. It was a clone, nigga. Like, what are we talking about? The nigga lost to himself. It wasn't like he lost to a new nigga. Like, I'm just sitting here like, what are y'all niggas talking about? This nigga pussy. He lost to himself.
There was a clone in this movie?
Yeah.
I need
Ultraman,
to go see this movie.
So there's an Ultraman
I know
figure.
that's happened in the comics like more than
Tons style,
more than once.
Like,
Superman gets mind controlled and cloned all the time.
Yes, Lex Luthor is like makes it his business to clone Superman. He did one where Superboy is his DNA and Superman's DNA into somebody.
Gay.
That was
You're
very
obsessed.
Gay. You want to have a baby with Superman. That was
You're
sick.
obsessed, Lex. It's scary.
In this movie, though, Lex Luthor was, I want to say, one of his best performances of a Lex Luthor. Like, he was so true in his feelings for Superman, and you got that the entire time. There was no like, oh, maybe we can work. He's like, no, you make me feel small. And you gotta die for that. you gotta even die, nigga. Like, for real.
Okay, so the parents, like, I saw things about like how heavy the parents' reveal was and like their intentions.
Yeah. So what happened was, generally, because of Marlon Brando, this is really why Marlon Brando in the original Superman movies, he was a big deal because he was a big actor at the time, and having him in this movie was a big deal.
Let me see who Marlon Brando is, because I know that name. I know that's a white man.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to know which white man it is. Let me look it up, and you can.
That's the white man. Richard Pryor used to suck Marlon Brando's.
I don't like that rhetoric. Don't say that. Take that out. Cut that out.
That's the one.
I just don't like it. If Marlon Brando was sucking Richard Pryor dick, then we could say that on the podcast. But I don't like that flip. That's a black king, and you can't do that to him.
Okay, I'll just beep some of it out.
I don't like that at all.
But a large reason with him is why Jarrell kind of gets in the movies.
That is a white man with a very large forehead.
Yeah.
He's too old for me to know.
Oh, I thought you would have been familiar with him. But he's the reason why, a lot of reason why modern day people take Jarrell to be such an important figure in Superman's mythos. What they did in this movie is they had
Jarrell?
Yeah, that's a Superman's biological father.
Oh, okay.
Jarrell, yeah. So what they did is they had
sound like a black man. Jarrell, is it not Jael or something?
Jarrell.
Jarrell?
Yeah, because Superman's name is Kal-El.
This nigga's name is Jarrell.
Yeah.
Jarrell Jackson.
No, L is his last name.
Oh.
Like Kal-El, that's their last name. So they have Bradley Cooper be Superman's father in this movie. And
don't like that.
It was a woman from Westworld. I forgot her name.
Needs to be more rugged.
But it doesn't really matter because they're only in for a short bit.
It doesn't matter.
In the movie, Lex Luthor exposes the second part of Superman's damaged note from his parents, in which they instruct him to basically be a Viltrumite and conquer Earth and have a harem of women. Like that's
so that you can bring the people back. If you're the last of us, you need to fuck everything. Everything.
So that pretty much turns the entire world against Superman, because now instead of them feeling like he's this hero of justice, they feel like, oh, you've been massaging us to a point to where you can weaken us and then come in and do what you want.
He could have been did what he wanted.
Essentially, but they don't understand that. They don't see it like that. They see it like he's working into a plan.
Okay.
Because that's how Lex Luthor presented to him. And I want to say that was probably the only thing about that movie that made me feel like an idiot, because the whole time they keep telling us it's real like 5 times. And I'm just like, nah, we're going to find out it was fake. Like, that's not what they did. But they did it. They let it go. They let that's canon. In this
so his parents actually gave him those instructions.
Yeah, they was like, you need to come
back.
But
that makes sense.
From his mama was like, you need to get a bunch of wives and regrow the population of Krypton.
Yes. With the strongest other species that you know, so that you cannot water down our powerful kryptonite genes.
Well, no, they weren't saying
my
like
son,
she wasn't telling him to go find Wonder Woman. He was telling him to go just regular human women.
Just go fuck on something.
Yeah.
Oh, not just something. Everything.
Yes.
No. I would have gave my son the same instructions if he was the last of us.
Yeah, but it's problematic because there's like, it doesn't feel like consent was a part of it. Like it wasn't feel like that was something that was a necessary requirement for him.
If you can live for as long as a kryptonite can live, no, I'm saying you can only deal with women who give you consent.
Okay, so I'm trying to see where
like
you're
you don't have to do the grapey shit. Like you have enough time to get consent and revitalize fruitfully the correct way.
The correct way. When they call you the king,
plus,
like there's no correct way.
You see what Clark Kent look like? That's prime white milk.
That's alien milk.
That's prime white man milk. He's like, he's gonna clean up. Go to Arizona one time. I don't know why I think the white whores are in Arizona.
I don't know why.
Most people I lived in Arizona for 1 year. Part of my lore. Lived in Arizona for 1 year. There was this one white girl, the biggest whore I've ever met in my life. She just like, if she could do an ice bath in a cum bucket every morning, she would.
Well, Arizona just isn't really the place you go to better yourself. You go to Arizona to hide from snitching on.
Yeah, we went to Arizona for 1 year to hide from, I don't know, my parents' divorce.
No, don't pay my mans like that. Don't do that. Don't pay my mans like that.
My mans. It was my mom that moved me there.
Yeah, but you said your parents divorced. I mean, someone can infer that y'all were running from your dad.
Well, let me tell you something.
Don't do my man's like
No,
that.
no. Let me tell you.
Don't do your man's like
No,
that. Don't do
I'm
my
not.
man's like
I'm
that.
not doing. If anything, I'm doing my mom. My mom tried to move us to Arizona secretly. She told me to not tell my dad. I immediately went and told my dad. I was like, this bitch is moving us to Arizona. I told my dad immediately. He didn't do anything. Okay, he didn't do anything, you know, but I told my dad immediately, and I was like, we on our way to the airport, and then and then when we got home to my uncle's house, I was like, okay, we in Arizona now, where we supposed to be at. Like, I kept him updated the entire time. Okay, so my next question: how was the CGI?
I don't think it was that bad at all. Honestly, there was elements there that I guess some people could have looked better. Like there was Metamorpho, who was part of that. He can turn himself into any kind of element. I think there was room for him to look better. But besides that,
I think they probably should have given someone who can morph into anything a slightly bigger budget.
I mean, it's not that the budget wasn't bigger. It's just
if it didn't look good, the budget wasn't big enough. Well, that's what I think.
It's not that it didn't look good. It's just in the comics, his face is drawn a little bit smoother, and I think they wanted to give it texture and make it look a little realer. So I think that's why it did. I just feel like a smoother face wouldn't have been as jarring because it was a dark room to me.
I hate when they do that. Just give us what we know.
I'm not mad at it.
It's the same shit with Sonic. Just give us what we know. Y'all wasted so much money trying to make something new when we just want what we know.
No, but it's comic accurate. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just
Metamorpho.
Yeah, when you look at him, it can just be jarring in regards to it, just because I've never seen him in live action before. This is the first time I've ever seen him in live action. So it would, like I said, that the CGI with Crypto, it had moments where it did look a little rough. But one of the things I was upset with, but that's not what he looked like in the movie.
Oh, I was about to say, this look good. What are you talking about? Okay.
That's not what he looked like in the movie. But the Crypto part, I wasn't mad at it. And I actually kind of enjoyed what they were doing with it. But for the fact of that there was scenes and footage shown where y'all punched the fuck out that dog and y'all didn't show it to us because of the screenings beforehand, the prior screenings saying they didn't.
Nobody wants to see animal abuse.
It's not animal abuse. It's a super dog.
But it's a dog.
Man, that dog should have got his shit punched in.
I saw something about the super dog. So Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto.
So they said that Superman made it his mission to rescue Crypto because if Kara sensed that Crypto was in danger, she would have destroyed the entire planet.
100%. 100%. 100%.
And I love that Kara is so much stronger than Kal-El, but Kal-El is still lit. Like I just wish Supergirl had like more of a bigger fan base, but she's a girl, so
her movie's coming out next year.
Okay.
So the end of this movie ended with her coming back to Earth and picking up Crypto because Crypto was her dog. So that's where she comes back in, and they give a little exposition where he says she goes to planets with red suns so she can get drunk and party. And so then she comes back, and then she ends up reminding me a lot of you when you drink. Like she came in with a lot of energy.
Powerful. Yo, my friend
talking trash.
My friend was like, girl, I don't know how your skinny ass slipped away from me as powerfully as you did.
A little snaky.
Yeah, she was like, you were like butter. Like I was like, yeah.
And then
that's why I'm running.
And then she called Superman a bitch at the end of it.
Good. Yes, I love that energy. Oh my God.
I think next year when we go see Supergirl, I think it was Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but I think it's just Supergirl now. Once we go see, and it's the girl from Game of Thrones, the dragon show.
Oh,
Mally.
I don't know her name. Was Daenerys?
No, not Daenerys. The girl in the new one, the Dragons show. The one that we seen.
Oh, the
younger daughter.
Oh, okay.
When she was the younger queen, her.
Okay, period. Yeah.
She's going to be playing Supergirl. So I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a lot of change of pace from that. I hope that they take some of the elements. This is my theory that I want to see. I want to see her distress and her conflict stem from the fact of when she came to Earth, she knew what the game plan was, but saw how Clark took to the planet. And so it messed her up because now her whole goal and mission was to help him get laid and do all this and take over the Earth. And now she can't do that anymore. And now they protecting the Earth. And she also remembers everything that happened on Krypton. And so she's conflicted.
Also, why is she not getting like busted up into? If Kal-El
by her cousin?
No. By anything. Like if Kal-El got that message, why didn't she get that same message? Also, why is she not fucking her cousin?
That's crazy.
No, but like if we're
I'm pretty sure incest works on Krypton.
But is the baby gonna not be strong as shit if it's incest?
It could be the reverse if it's incest.
We don't know how incest works on Krypton. Their genetics are completely different. It might create a super kryptonite.
Superman said in the comics that the only reason he wouldn't marry Supergirl was because on Krypton, marrying your cousin is illegal.
Okay, so genetically, that's probably not a good idea. If it's illegal on Krypton, because they wouldn't make it illegal if it wasn't a bad thing.
My thing is this too: is we don't know Kryptonian physiology.
I'm not for incest, by the way. It's just like if we're the last two remaining of our species,
this is gonna make
we might just have to repopulate with some from babies. I don't know.
That was insane. But I was just gonna add to that was, if her physiology is anything similar to a human and how she carries, then it wouldn't behoove her to get fucked on, because she can only hold one child or maybe two children at a time. So it would behoove her to assist him in laying his
and then fuck his kids.
Okay. That's insane, yo.
When they get of age, obviously, not when they children.
That's insane, yo.
This is only in a dire situation of like where you have to repopulate your species. This is not just like everyday la-di-da for me, you know?
The last
like
Kryptonian.
this is the like you're the last human and the only other person is your cousin. You're gonna have to fuck your cousin. I'm sorry. Am I bugging?
Sometimes the planet blows up for a reason. It's like, no, we're not supposed to be here no more. Let's just enjoy our time while we're here and then call it a day, yo.
Because if the planet died because of us,
maybe
let's just die.
Maybe we suck. Like,
let's just live it up until we can't, and then just die.
Maybe we just don't need to exist in that capacity.
But if it was an outside source that made this end,
maybe they knew something we didn't. You know, maybe they knew something we
you
didn't.
You just team not fucking your cousin, which is crazy for a.
Yo, young, I'm about to fire up on you. I'm about to fire up on you, young.
You exist because
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. Don't put that on me.
I'm putting that on your jacket. OD. I've been putting on your jacket for years. Not you specifically, your ancestors. They're no longer with us.
It's craziness. Yo, sucking the cup into the mic.
I had to take a deep breath.
All right. Was there anything else you had any questions about?
So, Snyder versus Gunn. Who did you enjoy more? Who you got?
As a Superman movie and the spirit of the comic books, I would have to say James Gunn was the Superman he created was a unanimously better Superman. Mm-hmm. But what Snyder was trying to do, and I think it's kind of like important, he was trying to tell a story of a character. And I said this earlier, he was trying to tell a story of how do you get to being that hopeful individual.
He was more of a world builder.
And like people try to also paint like the Snyder version was like tougher than this version of Superman, and he didn't take no nonsense and all that other stuff. I want y'all to go out and
it did seem like this Superman was a little bit more like he had a little bit more comedic relief.
He was a little bit more playful with it. I'm not going to act like he's not. But if you go back to what Zack Snyder's intention was to be for this universe, his Superman was going to raise Batman's bastard son with Lois. If that's not the most beta shit in the world, like you can't say that's weaker than this Superman. Like that was the game plan with Snyder. So no, this Superman is legit Superman. He holds it down. Like the moments, and again, I even teared up a little. I teared up a little bit in this movie when they had the scene where the little boy at the end of the movie was bringing the flag, asking for Superman to help save them, because I have seen the world and so many horrible things. Just like even today we was talking about Israel blowing up Syria, and just to see these events happen, and to wish that there was one individual who had the power to just make something different. This movie just resonated so much, and it just told why Superman is important to the zeitgeist and why we need to have this kind of Superman be told. Not the I'm a god and I need to be, you know, conflicted about what's going on and, you know, do the whole Jesus motif with it. It's like, no, we need an entity that's better than Jesus. Like, we need someone who isn't.
You be wildin'.
Superman is from fictional character to fictional character. Superman is 10 times better than Jesus.
Wow. Points.
I'm just being dead ass.
Bullet points. Give them to me now. How?
Okay, so Superman, if he had the power to, would not let starvation be a thing on his planet. All the things that the negative suffering that God allows on his planet, Superman actively fights against.
Okay, Superman versus Jesus on Earth.
Superman 10 times out of 10.
You know, I might have to agree.
He's washing that little.
I think.
Like, what are you talking about,
bro? This is absolute blasphemy. But I do think that, like, before resurrection,
Superman will kill Jesus, let him resurrect, and kill him again.
Before AD, I think Superman definitely got him. I think as the resurrected son of
AD doesn't mean after death.
It
means in the year of our Lord. It's a Latin word.
Public schools taught me after death. Before Christ, after death.
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Like, that's what I was taught. That's what I'm sticking to. So after death, because if the New York public school system steered me wrong, I'm on them same streets still. Cause the fuck.
I'm just saying, Jesus is definitely getting his ass.
No, because that's ridiculous. AD doesn't mean after death.
No, it means like it means a Latin word for in the year of our Lord. That's what that means. It doesn't mean after death. What that would mean is before Christ and after death. That means there's a 33-year period of history that's not quote unquote accounted for. That's not true.
You are completely correct.
I know.
That's crazy. I think they just didn't want to teach us Latin in the public schools.
Well, it happens.
Did they teach you that in
my private school? Yeah, they told us it was the year of our Lord.
They probably taught us that in private school too, but private school was the school that I paid attention the least in because they involved the Bible. I was like, this is not interesting. And he's the atheist. I'm just the person who doesn't give a fuck enough to label. Okay, so we're about to wrap up, but really quick before we wrap up, I just could not, like, I have shit to do in the morning, but I could not mention Conor McGregor sending Azealia Banks a dick pic, not only an unsolicited dick pic, not only one, but two. And the second one, he MacGyvered somehow a weight and a string onto his tiny white penis.
Like, why are you comfortable getting? Because she didn't seem a little bit upset about this. Why are you comfortable getting unsolicited dick pics from a guy who was convicted of raping a woman civilly?
I feel like Azealia Banks is just used to bullshit from white men, because from men in general, I don't know what's going on. I was trying to wrap my head around why Conor McGregor specifically, right, would send a dick pic to Azealia Banks out of all people. Like, out of all people that you could send a dick pic to, Bonnie Blue is the first person that comes to mind for some fucking reason. But, like, do you not think that, like, she would immediately post that? So then I thought about, you remember when Dave Chappelle did his stand-up and he was like, basically, I fucked Azealia Banks?
Yeah.
Bro, what type of pocket does Azealia Banks have on her? She must have the wettest. Like, there has been so many men, just miscellaneous men, linked to Azealia Banks. I think Azealia Banks secretly has the best pussy in Hollywood. That's my hot take for this episode. Because what is happening? Why is Conor McGregor like, yo, I need that?
Remember when she boiled that cat? Maybe she put the water on her poom poom.
That's exactly what happened.
She put the water on there, the juices.
Bro, Azealia Banks is, I don't know, but like
dark magic.
I think Azealia Banks got that like super soaker 5,000 for real. And it's like Hollywood's best kept secret. And that's why she's still on the scene. Because even though she's blasphemous and inflammatory and a contrarian like a motherfucker, and all she does is upset people, she still has some type of platform. Because she got that gush. I think we finally solved the mystery.
So you think that's why that white man slapped her that one time?
Who was that white man? She was probably trying to leave him and not giving that pussy no more. He was like, bitch,
get back here. bring me that blessed.
And then there was
pussy.
somebody else who spit on her.
I think that's the same person.
Russell Crowe.
People were
like, what are you doing around Russell Crowe?
That's exactly what niggas was thinking when they heard that story happen.
Because she got that snatch.
You think like it's the word around town? It's like, hey, Mike, you got to get some of that Azealia Banks pussy.
Yo, like
you gotta get that Azealia. You gotta get that Banks cunt.
Like, yo, that bitch is crazy, but she got the tightest pussy I've ever had in my life. And that's why she's always around. Because why are y'all inviting Azealia Banks to anything ever? She got that.
She got that grip. She got that grippy.
She has to.
Well, white men kind of fall for like girls with the hair that she be having though. Like that's really they kryptonite.
She do got the hard wig, soft life hair.
Yeah, like they really be falling for that.
She do. Yeah,
they be thinking like she like a black Barbie or something.
Yeah, they just white men don't know what good lace fronts look like versus black men. They be like clocking us.
They not sure.
Yeah,
they're not sure. What else I was about to say about that too? Also too, she does kind of like push her body in a way where she wants to be like white model fine.
Because she got the boobs done and never got the butt done.
Yeah. Like she does a lot of things that's like
but she's not
old
even
white woman Hollywood.
Old white woman, yeah. Not even old, like 2000s old white woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has that traditional white girl body, like the traditional good white girl body, but that's never been a good body for black girls. Big boobs and no ass has never been a good body for black girls. For white girls, that worked. It low-key doesn't work for them anymore. The white girls gotta be evened out a little bit more. Unless you don't want a black man.
Unless they're not talking. Yeah, if they're not talking, they gonna be all right.
Unless you like, if you want a black man, you gonna have to have some hip of some sort if you're a white girl. Unless the nigga is poor.
I felt like you was pointing at me when you did that a little bit.
No, I just you are with me, a black woman. I don't have no hips either though. They getting there. None of my pants fit.
That's good.
It's actually alarming.
That's good. We're getting that weight on you, girl.
I have invested money into the pieces I have. I've been trying to gain weight for so long, and I've been like buying designer ready to wear. And then I just now realized, and getting things taken in, and I just now realized that like if I gain weight, the designer ready to wear that I have purchased, I will have to resell.
My baby coming in like
like I will literally I think like being skinny has been a part of my life for my entire life. I've always been skinny. I've gained a little bit of weight. I'm having an identity crisis, and if I ever get fat, you will emotionally feel it. No, you will feel it emotionally. I mean, if I get fat, I will be a different person. I will be unhappy.
You're not gonna be like one of those fat girls that like want to give love to everybody.
No, I will hate myself.
Well,
I'm not emotionally prepared to be what I conceive as unattractive.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't want to be fat. Oh my God. I'm never going to be fat though. We'll see what happens in pregnancy. But if I get fat, I will literally like be depressed. Like I'm not ready for that. My self-image is too anchored in skinniness. And I know it sounds horrible. I know I sound like a bitch. But that's just the way it is. I've never been over a size 2.
All right, you've been listening to Talk F&F TV. We do greatly appreciate you joining us, holding us down. We hope that we were entertaining and overwhelming. But I want to thank y'all again. Let them know what they got to do, baby.
Follow us on all of the social media at talk.fnf.tv on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And if you're currently listening on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on any of the streaming services, download and all that. Give us some love. Love you guys back. Love you. Bye.